Hi everybody and welcome to the Jolemonus video blog. I haven't done one of these in for freaking ever. And the main reason I haven't is because when you come to my channel you don't come to see me, you come to see the video game play.
Thank you. Oh god, that hurt. That was painful. Jeez.
And it was at this moment he knew he fucked up.
Oh god!
The toy review. So what? Pop that off, set that aside. These are gonna come up. Hey, stop that, I'm doing a review. However, the new subscribers that I have probably won't even watch this video because they'll see that it doesn't have the toy review or a video game thing going on with it. But I wanted to start something fresh and new. I wanted to start a podcast, possibly, to just get my thoughts on things out in the world. And if you guys are interested in seeing something like that, let me know. Like the dozen or so of you that actually will watch this. And it'll pretty much be like Takuso related and whatnot. And it'll be like what interests me. And I was thinking of maybe doing like reviews of episodes or entire series if you wanted. I just need to see that the views are there, that you guys want me to do this, and I'll freaking do it. I'll do it in a heartbeat. I thought I'd start by telling you guys a little bit about myself and like who I am and what I'm all about, other than Takusatsu, so you guys could be like, okay, I actually want to hear what this guy has to say. So to start things off, I'm in my 30s, so yes, I'm a man-child, as some people might describe, but I'm living on my own. I don't live in my mom's basement. I don't have a roommate, and I support myself and my hobbies, as you can see. So you're probably wondering, like, well, how did he get into Takusatsu? Well, going back a ways, when I was a wee lad, my mother used to work at a bar, and in the mornings when she had us, because we weren't in school on the weekends, she would be cleaning up the bar, and we would go with her and like play with the pool table. She'd try to get the TV going, and it was one of those old huge square TVs like hanging above the bar. And I'll never forget, that weekend was during the Green Ranger saga, during Mighty Morphin, and the Green Ranger was first appearing with the Dragon Sword for the first time ever in the US, and I was losing my fucking mind. I was like, Mom, get the TV to work, get the TV to work, and it had like those like gray lines and stuff like that going through it to where you were trying to squint, and I see him for the first time, and I see this motherfucker right here just storm out of the ocean, and I was just like, oh my god, just losing my shit, and I will never ever forget that. And it's like Mighty Morphin just exploded my world into what could be, and it was amazing. You know, I'd never seen anything like it. It was totally new for us in the States. You know, even though Super Sentai had been going on for years and years and years over in Japan, we'd never seen anything like that. Little like 8-10-year-old me, or however, maybe, I don't know, however old I was at the time, never seen anything like that, and it was like I needed it in my life. And it actually wasn't until like many years later, when they introduced Power Rangers Zeo, that I got my first ever Megazord. And from there on out, sold, done. Like, I always wanted Megazords because the robots always were the main draw for me. Like, having the powers, being able to get on the suits, that was cool and all, but I was just amazed by the robots. Like, and before that, I was big into robots with Transformers. And when I saw like robots coming together to form one bigger robot, like the only time I'd ever seen that is in the Combiner line in Transformers, and they didn't make a whole lot of them that I remembered. I never had any of them, so I was just like, what? 5 dinosaurs come together to make one giant robot? Like, that blew my little mind away. Like, you'd look at the 5 dinosaurs, and you never think in a million years, oh, I put this here and bend this and form that, and Shazam, giant robot. Like, I was enamored by that as a child, and it just stuck with me. Like, as you can see, you know, I'm still collecting them because I still dig the thing where you look at those 5 individual things or sometimes 3 individual things coming together, and it just blows me away, and I love it. And the craftsmanship sometimes, especially with more recent seasons, the gimmicks are just awesome, and I, I I just couldn't stop. And even like into my teenage years where I started making my own paychecks and stuff like that, like I'll never forget I bought the in space Astro Mega Ship with like one of my very first ever paychecks. And at the time, my parents were frowning upon my obsession with Power Rangers, and they're like, "Are you sure you want to be doing that? Are you sure you want to be buying this? You should be saving up to get a car." And I even had to lie to my parents about like how I got the Megazord. I was like, "Oh, yeah, a friend bought it for me. I didn't spend my hard-earned cash on something I enjoy," because my parents were like a little bit more disciplined in the fact that they're like, you need to be an adult. You can't be spending your money on toys. And they were right. You know, I did need to be an adult, and I did need to, become a little bit more responsible with what I was doing with my money. But the thing is, it was what made me happy. It was my zen. It put me in a place where it was like, this is what's great. I got like this weird high, off buying a new Megazord and having it and playing with it. I didn't care the fact that I was fucking 15. It still gave me that buzz, and it's like some people are addicted to smoking, some people are addicted to drinking, meth. I mean, and I'm not gonna lie, in a way it is a addiction. It's something that I keep doing because I get that high, I get that buzz. And whenever I open a new toy and put it up and display it, it's like, it's my zen. And it doesn't hurt anyone. It's like one of the healthiest addictions out there. I'm not like scrounging to eat. I'm not going to lose my apartment, and all my bills are paid. So who the fuck cares how I spend my money? Going along that line, funny story. There was actually someone I brought over once. Because if you guys couldn't guess, I'm single. Whoop-de-freaking-do. And I brought her into my apartment. She saw what I had on display, and she's like, "Wait, you like Power Rangers?" I'm like, "Well, actually, not anymore. I prefer the Japanese counterpart, Super Sentai. It's not quite the same thing." And she's like, "No, no, 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 no. Wait, you like Power Rangers?" And I'm like, "Yes, I like Power Rangers." And she's like, "I have to go." And that's the stigma I deal with, being an adult and still loving Power Rangers. Now, going along the lines of Power Rangers, air quotes, because it's what we do, I don't really care for Power Rangers as much anymore, especially Neo Saban. Like, when Saban got their hands back on it, I was like, this is garbage. Like, especially because with Samurai, like the first season they got, it was just damn near verbatim Shinkanger, which is the Japanese counterpart. And it didn't have any of that originality that Power Rangers is known for. It felt like, we're not going to reinvent the wheel. We're just going to use what we already have and go with it. And I get that, especially because like Saban wants to start on a good note, using what the fans who are adults now already know because we've probably gone into the Sentai or been introduced to it. So it's just like, okay. And it's stupid easier in the writing department. They don't have to do much of anything other than just like follow the same story beats almost verbatim. And the addition of Bulk and Skull's son, it's like, oh, you guys like Power Rangers? Well, we know you liked Bulk, so we're gonna bring him in here, and we're gonna bring in, well, we can't get Skull's kid. That's what we're gonna do, and it's just fucking horrible. Like, those guys added literally nothing to the story, and half the time they didn't even interact in the story that was being told in the episode, and it was just like, story, sidebar, Skull kid and Bulk doing stupid shit that has nothing to do with anything at all. And it was fucking pointless and stupid. And then after that became what came after that? Was it Megaforce? Yeah, Megaforce. Megaforce was a fucking joke. Oh my god, was that horrible. That was like one of the worst seasons ever, because when Nickelodeon made the deal with Saban, they had to stretch a 1-year show into a 2-year show. And to do that was fucking ridiculous, man. Like, I've never seen a show structured like this. For those of you who don't know, what they would do is they'd split the show where 8 episodes, hiatus. 8 episodes, hiatus, then huge hiatus, and they'd split this, like I said, 1 year's worth of footage into 2 years and make it super whatever. Like, and they did that with Samurai as well. So 1 year's use of years use of tongue tied years use of footage spread into 2 years, totally unnecessary because they created enough of a gap when when Saban got it back that they didn't have to do that. Because like I would understand if they needed that time to get enough stuff set up for the next year, but they were so far behind in Sentai that they had plenty of time to just go ahead and make the next year and do what they've been doing for years, every year a new Sentai. I mean, every year a new Power Rangers. And treating the super subset as an entire season and series outside of itself is, to me, just idiotic. And I know Saban's just like, money, 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 make that shit rain. And more toys. And the kids are going to lose interest. Kids nowadays, like, with the digital era and, like, ADD, ADHD, they're not going to stay for, like, 2 years of the same shit. They're going to get bored. Especially when you have huge months long, like, not 1 month, multiple months long hiatus, no new episodes. Kids are going to lose interest like that. And be like, well, there's other shows to watch now. And when it comes back, they don't even know. They don't advertise it right or anything. It's a huge, huge letdown. Honestly, I would have been perfectly okay if Power Rangers stopped after RPM when Disney gave up on it. Because RPM is by far my favorite season. If you guys haven't seen it, it's on Netflix. Go watch it. Stop whatever you're doing. Stop this video right now. Fuck it. Come back later. Come back never. I don't fucking care. Go watch it RPM. Do it. Do it because I told you to. Do it. Great writing. Great story. Way more mature. And, like, I think Disney did that one season. If none of the other seasons it bought, that one season, they did justice. Because it was actually better, in my eyes, than the Japanese season. Go Longer. Because Go Longer was way, way too campy. Like, even the Japanese Rangers themselves were just stupid campy. And it was... I know you're supposed to suspend disbelief when you watch a show like this, but they were asking too much. It was just... bad. Not a good season in my eyes. Now, you're probably wondering, Super Sentai Power Rangers, Super Sentai Power Rangers. What the fuck are you talking about? Okay, I'm going to give you a brief history. Back in the 70s, they created this series called Super Sentai in Japan, which eventually, in the 90s, got translated into Power Rangers Mighty Morphin. And by that time, there'd been stupid amounts of seasons over there. They've been going on, like, yearly for years and years and years. Fun fact, the first 2 seasons, maybe even all the way to Battle Fever J, Marvel had their hands in it. Marvel for sure had their hands in Battle Fever J. And after that, Marvel's like, we're done. Or maybe Super Sentai said we're done with Marvel. Either way, there was a collab. And could you guys imagine if that was still going on today, if Marvel had their hands in Super Sentai? Holy shit. Like, wow, the things that could have happened over here if they're the ones who brought it over. Oh my god. Just thinking about it. Wow. But anyways, fast forward to now. I mean, to the 90s. Dinosaurs were huge in the 90s. Like, all 90s kids will vouch for that. Like, there was dinosaur cartoons, there was dinosaur toys, like, Jurassic Park was coming out soon. Like, dinosaurs were in. So when Mighty Morphin came out, these superheroes who were teenage kids who had dinosaurs that turned into a giant robot, like, kids were eating that shit up like it was hotcakes. Like, do a little research. It's worth it. Like, it was a fucking phenomenon. It was insane. Which is why it lasted like 3 years of Mighty Morphin, because like they were milking that cash cow for everything it was worth. Craziness. So when I was in, I think when I was 17 or 18, I finally got introduced to Super Sentai. No idea, never heard of it before. And the funny part is, I got introduced to Super Sentai through Kamen Rider. I watched Kamen Rider first, and this fan subbing group called TV Nihon had been subbing Kamen Rider, and I saw people were subbing Super Sentai too, and I was like, what the fuck is Super Sentai? And I was introduced to my very first ever Super Sentai, Abba Ranger. How was I introduced to Abba Ranger? This is how. You would never guess it, but I went on eBay, because once I found out about Abba Ranger, I was like, oh my god, I need it in my life. Like, at this point, I'd been a Power Ranger fan for so many years, I was like, I need to find this. And how I found it was like on eBay, these from China, so not even from Japan, from China, like subs of a series, and I got the whole damn thing. I went ham, man. And just so you know, the subs are pretty bad. I don't know a lot of Japanese, but I know enough to know that these are horrible. But that was the only way I had access to it. And I from there on out, I was sold. I was beyond sold. And thankfully, TV Nihon was subbing the next series, Deca Ranger. So I didn't have to go through this shit to watch the next series. And from there on out, I'd been strictly like every year, need to see it, need to see it, need to see it. And I stopped buying Power Ranger toys almost entirely and started buying Japanese ones. And this was before I knew about eBay price gouging and everything. And I wanted to buy like Abba Reno, which is Power Rangers Dino Thunder's Megazord. I wanted to buy that very badly, but at that point I wasn't very financially sound. I was, where was I? Actually, no, fuck. This was in my 20s. Yeah, I was in college when I got introduced to Abba Ranger. And so I'm a college kid. I don't have fucking money. And the American toys started coming out. And so this was like a year or so later. And I caved and bought the American toys because they were basically the same thing as the Japanese ones, just shittier paint jobs. So I went ahead and bought the American Dino Thunder toys, and they had every Zord that was released in Japan except for one, which was really, really weird. And it was like the Pachyosaur, the purple Boonpaki is what they called them in Japan, and you couldn't get it here at all, period. For some stupid ass reason, they never released them, ever. So when I went to get them, I had to pay, because I'm an idiot and I didn't know any better, I had to pay like over $200 for one Zord. $200, one Zord. And yeah, I was stupid. I learned my lesson. After that, I didn't buy another Japanese Zord for many, many years because I was just like, no, never again. I'm not doing this to myself. In fact, shoot, I didn't buy another Zord, period, until Magi Ranger. And that's when I went all in. Like at that point, I was a little bit more financially sound, and I just went crazy. Like I bought every Magi Ranger Zord, all of them. I bought the Morpher. I bought I bought some of the Sobo figs, like those like vinyl figs that like move very robotically. I just went so ham, and that was it, man. Like from there on out, as long as I had money, I was just like need it. And wow, such a wild ride after that. And starting today, bringing us to today, like every year, especially now that I have a really, really good job, every year I'm just like, do I want to dump money into this? And I was I was swearing up and down I'm not going to do it for the newest series, which is Lou Panger versus Pato Ranger. And I was like, no, I'm not feeling it. I like the designs of the Lupin guys, but I'm not feeling the Zords. And the Zords are basically my go-to. If I'm not feeling the Zords, I don't buy shit from it. And I wasn't feeling the Zords until they introduced one of the newer ones, which is like this stealth bomber thing that gives them like a sword and a shield. And I was just like, I think I need that. And then I went ham and bought like all the all the default Zords from the series, like the 3 main ones for the Lupin Rangers, the 3 main ones from the Pato Rangers, and 1 copy of Good Striker, so I could make the Megazords and the Morpher. And I was just like, I make mad money now, you know. I work for oh god, I hope this doesn't get me fired. I work for FedEx. I'm a courier, and I deliver and pick up packages, and I really love the fact that I can go in there and say, I don't have a job, I have a career. I can retire from there, you know. I make really, really good money. I support myself, and I'm genuinely happy. You know, I can support my habit. You know, I can keep buying these lovely pieces of plastic to decorate around my house, and I can eat whenever I want. Like, I won't go big into it, but there was definitely a point in my life where it's just like I was barely surviving. I didn't have money to eat. I didn't have money to survive or do anything. And now I'm just like, I'm hungry, I go eat. I'm thirsty, I go drink. And I never really have to worry about, do I have money to do this? Because I do. Because regardless of buying all this shit, I'm still adult enough to, you know, to where I pay my bills and I make sure my shit's taken care of. I don't just like frivolously like throw money around like I'm a big baller. I'm not a big baller, and I don't pretend to be. But it is really, really nice to just have the money to support my habit and have money to eat. Like, some of you who are watching this might have lived on the ramen diet at one point, and trust me, I lived on that shit for years, and it's scary, you know. It's really disheartening to be like, I can't adult. And I can't tell you like the weight that has been lifted off my shoulders just being able to be like, yes, I would like a Big Mac. Yes, I could afford a fucking Big Mac. And sometimes it's like that simple, just being able to go down to McDonald's and order like a Big Mac. Like, that's huge coming from, do I have money to eat tomorrow? But that's enough about that shit. So I'm open to suggestions with this podcast. I'm open to like topics you guys want to hear about. Like I said, I'd like to keep it Takusatsu related if I could, but if there's something you guys want to know about me, like, wow, like I am the tiniest bit of an internet presence, but if you guys want some more like stuff, I would love that. Like, reach out to me, like, be like, I want to hear Jolemonus talk about this, and I would love to give you guys what you want. I just need the audience to tell me, and the audience is way, way, way tinier than you guys might think. Like, even though my subscription says 53 or 52 count, most of those are friends or family that I've just subscribed without them knowing. Because I was like, I want people to see my shit, but I want people to want to see my shit. And like, even if you guys see this and be like, hey, go to this Reddit post or whatever, hey, go here, I'll go there. I'll throw my shit all over the place because I want people to see it. I want people to be like, I like this dude, he's funny, or I like this dude because I like what he has to say, or whatever reason you like me. Or if you don't like me, I can take creative criticism. I'm just some fucking dude sitting on his couch talking to his computer. Just let me know. And I think that'll about do it for this one. Like, my next one, I'll try to have a little bit more streamlined, like one particular topic, and I'll just run with it. And if you guys have any suggestions with that, by all means, like, shout it out. I want to hear it. And I will definitely see you guys in the next video. My next one is going to be fun. I recently got a really awesome purchase from the closing Toys R Us's, and I'm going to do a video on it. It's going to be good. I'm excited for this, and hopefully I'll have it up by this weekend. Um, if not, just so you guys understand, for those of you who know, um, I work 2 jobs. Like, obviously I work FedEx, as I just said, and my other job is Target. I work the second job to help pay for my car. I might actually be quitting next month. So hopefully by the end of May, I'll be able to quit Target and just solely survive on FedEx. And then by having more free time, I can make more videos. And just so you guys know, I'm not one of those YouTubers looking to make a big name for himself. I'm not one of those YouTubers who even fucking makes money anymore on YouTube. Not that I made 1 fucking cent beforehand. I'm so low on the totem pole, they kicked me out of the partner program and I make nothing. So this is strictly for you guys. And, well, hold on. Not just for you guys. I mean, it's strictly just for shits and giggles. You know, I mean, I do this because I love it. I'm not in it for the money. I'm in it because this is me. This is what I like to do. I like to put myself out there, and I like to have people enjoy what I do. That is my goal in life, is just to make people laugh or like bring a smile to someone's face. Like, if I can do that for one person at least once a day, even if it's me, I've accomplished my life goal. And that's all I really want. So if you guys see this and you smile, give me a thumbs up, man. That'll let me know you smiled when you watch this, and that makes it worthwhile to me so much more. Alright, man, I will definitely see you guys in the next video, and have a wonderful evening. Deuces.